All right, we've got some news for you.
Exciting news.
Yep, but first we want to tell you a story.
I've heard a story, I've heard it said, I've come to believe that love is a bet. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, and sometimes it calls you right in the move.
It was the summer of 2015 and we'd been together over 9 years and we'd been married for 2 years. We decided the time was right to start a family, and our biggest worry then was how we were going to have a family while Mike was in school because he just started his MBA that fall. By the spring of 2016, we didn't have any signs of success, so we decided to move forward and see a specialist. We were young and we were just knew it shouldn't be this hard, and it was happening quickly for everyone else we knew. We did the standard testing and nothing really showed abnormal for results. My AMH was a little bit lower for being 28, but our reproductive endocrinologist wasn't very concerned about that and recommended that we try an IUI, which is an intrauterine insemination. Each time it failed, it was really hard and it just didn't make sense to us because we'd get our hopes up and think that this would be it, and then nothing still. In June 2016, we decided to move forward with a laparoscopy, just a simple surgery to check for endometriosis and anything else that could be preventing pregnancy. It wasn't a fun procedure, but it did show that we had I had stage 2 endometriosis that the doctor removed. It was not bad enough to cause us any issues. We still didn't really have any answers, and we were just ready to move on and be parents like everybody else around us.
So we switched to a new doctor just over the border in Illinois. She agreed that IVF was the best next step for us.
So IVF is not a fun process, and for those of you that aren't familiar with it, it involves daily shots, lots of monitoring appointments so early in the morning for blood work and ultrasound, so I'd have to drive down to the clinic before work and get everything checked out. We were doing everything they advised, including things like acupuncture. Just had acupuncture, and now I'm going out to dinner with some new friends, and I didn't have time to go home in between, so we are doing shots in the car. So this should be interesting. Hopefully no one notices too much what we're doing, but whole new meaning to shots in the car, I guess. However, our first round was canceled due to poor response to the meds. My ovaries were just not responding and not creating follicles. It was maybe the first time where we thought maybe this wasn't gonna work ever. Our clinic advised us to keep trying. So 2 months later, we tried a different medication protocol, and this one had even more shots, some that I had to do twice a day. Only a few follicles responded. We decided to move forward with the egg retrieval, but we only got 2 eggs and only 1 fertilized. That's a really good quality.
You only need 1.
We need one that's good quality, that's gonna keep growing, and when you only have 1, chances of having 1 that's good aren't as good, but we'll see, we'll know more soon, and in the meantime, I'm kind of just holding our breath. But 10 days later, you take a test, and we found out that this one didn't work, and our test was negative. We found a new clinic that we loved, also in Illinois, with an amazing doctor, Dr. Allison Rogers, at the Fertility Centers of Illinois. In January 2017, we decided to do 1 more round, our 3rd round, and try a different protocol yet again that she recommended.
So this protocol in this round went much, much better. We retrieved 11 eggs this time and we're ecstatic. 8 of them were mature, 6 fertilized, and 2 made it to day 5 and were ready to transfer. We crossed our fingers and prayed that this would be our time.
Taking me down.
Unfortunately, we got some rather bad news today.
After this, we really didn't know what to do next. So any insurance we had was about to be used up, and after 3 failures, it was exhausting, it was financially difficult. We just didn't know what to do anymore. We wanted to try again, but we also just didn't want to keep going through this failure. Kind of started thinking about other options. Some people will say just adopt, you know, like it's so easy, and we did consider it. I just didn't know if we had it in us to go through that after all this letdown. We decided to move forward with a donor egg, meaning another woman would donate their eggs and we would fertilize them with Mike's sperm, and we would get all the embryos and I would still get to carry the baby. It wasn't a very easy decision to move forward with that option, but we had a lot of faith that whatever baby was meant to be ours would end up with us and be our baby. It's not a simple or cheap process, so it took a few months, but we found what we thought was the perfect egg donor in our clinic's database.
So we went through the legal process, signed all the papers.
Just when we thought we were finally on the way.
At the baseline on Wednesday, it was discovered that our donor was pregnant. So that sucks because, one, that means we can't do a cycle with her, and And 2, we couldn't do a cycle with her for a really, really long time. So essentially we were canceled and starting over from square one.
It felt like we just weren't meant to be parents, and after everything we'd been through, was just, everything was against us. We took some time to honestly just like mourn and figure out what to do. Like maybe we weren't supposed to do this. Our clinic encouraged us to keep trying and pushing on, and they were great and helped find us another donor that we really liked that was available right away. This time everything went much more smoothly. She had a great retrieval and we were looking forward to transferring. Unfortunately, we had another setback where it was discovered I had some uterine polyps, so they just had to be removed before we could move forward. It was just another month, but it felt like, you know, another year.
Unfortunately, because we were delayed, we had to freeze them, so they're just hanging out, waiting for us.
There's snowflakes.
They're snowflakes.
The surgery went smoothly and we were able to transfer to our beautiful embryos in December 2017. The odds are so much higher with egg donor, especially when you have 2 perfect embryos. So we let ourselves get hopeful, and then...
Okay, today's the day.
3 minutes, I think.
Okay, let's walk away.
No, I can't. I don't even know if it's like going.
I just feel like we never catch a break.
Don't think it worked.
If it didn't work, we're just gonna try again, okay? Didn't work?
It was just beyond devastating.
Right, we did the test at home and found out it was negative again.
We didn't know what to do, but luckily our doctor wasn't giving up on us yet. We did some research and we talked with her, and we decided to do a very new advanced test called the endometrial receptivity array. Essentially, there's only 6 hours a month where an embryo can implant, and for some people, it can be off a little bit. The ERA showed that we needed to transfer earlier than the standard timing of 5 days past ovulation, which is very, very rare. And this would also give us some answers as to why we would never have gotten pregnant naturally, because the timing would have never worked out for an embryo to be available 4 days after ovulation.
So it was June 2018 and we were finally ready to transfer 2 more embryos. Today's transfer day. We just got done with our shots, so
Progesterone and estrogen. We're gonna drive to Chicago in the traffic right now. We gotta go.
I try to figure out who I am. Not sure what I'm doing here.
All right, it went well. Transfer was perfect. Sorting Dr. Rogers, so I guess we should feel good. 2 little embryos are perfect and they're home, and hopefully they're getting cozy and ready to stick.
yeah. So we waited anxiously for 10 days. Normally we would do a pregnancy test at home, but we waited for the doctor's call.
And the days don't work out the way I thought they would.
All right, so today's the day.
And we're both sick to our stomachs.
I've been sitting at
Anxiety.
work all day, just thinking about this all day.
They called at 11:15 and I did not answer it and not look at the voicemail all day.
Right.
I like feel sick. I mean, I was telling Mike it should have worked. The odds are so high, but yet nothing has worked for us. So it's just really hard to like keep hope.
So they left a voicemail and we're gonna listen to it right now.
I'm gonna do
And
it.
for you, there was no one who understood.
It's positive. Oh my god, we have to start over. I read it first.
Give you a call with your levels today from Dr. Rogers' office. Your HCG is 378 and your progesterone is 21.4. Congratulations, you guys are pregnant.
You're the one who can make
Oh my
it
God.
go away.
Holy
All you have
Okay,
to
you're gonna have to
do
phone. Oh my god! What is there?
I can't breathe,
I did not think that.
but it feels like you're the one who saves me. When I try, but don't succeed. Yeah, it feels like you're the one.
Less than 2 weeks later, we had our first ultrasound, and it showed 2 sacs.
2
Twins. So we were excited. We knew this was a possibility. Obviously, twins are a lot of work and higher risk, but after waiting nearly 3 years, we were ready and happy to have 2. We went back a week later and We were so nervous, like shaking and worried about seeing the heartbeats, because at this point, if they were gonna be viable, we should see heartbeats. And we did see 2 heartbeats. However, one of them was irregular and slower than it should have been, and the prognosis was not good. So at our next ultrasound, it was confirmed that the one had stopped growing and no longer had a heartbeat. It was obviously very bittersweet, because like both of them were already our babies, but we tried to focus on the fact that we had one miracle baby that was right on track and was continuing to grow.
So that's right.
So
we're pregnant.
We're pregnant. And we're almost 18 weeks. And we're very, very excited. So to end, we just wanted to say thank you to our amazing doctor, Dr. Allison Rogers, and all the staff at fertility centers in Illinois, especially the amazing nurses.
Well, thank you to all the family and friends that stood by us for the last 3 years. It's been a really long 3 years.
Love and support means everything, and we can't wait to share Baby Haynes with all of you. To anyone else who finds themselves in our position, just know that you're not alone. Obviously, this is a very isolating process, which is part of the reason that we're making this video and sharing with everyone. It's hard to be so honest and put these very personal moments online for everyone, but we hope that should you ever know anyone or find anyone in this situation, you'll be there for them and know you're not alone. And lastly, what do we want to say to our baby?
Baby, we've waited so long to meet you and we just cannot wait.
Baby, we can't wait to meet you. Keep on growing. Stop making me sick, and let's see you in 22 weeks.
What are you doing?
Eating ice cream? What's the problem?
My ice cream.
And my ice cream. You got it just for